Hello and welcome to Unpopular Opinions. Today it's me and Bodie from Industry, and we're going to be breaking down some of the unpopular opinions that were put into our Instagram stories by some of our followers. So let's get started. If Mourinho wins the league with us, then Mourinho is better than Sir Alex. And that's from @mayo.sauce. What do you think about that?
I personally don't agree. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best in the world. Obviously, if
Mhm.
not one of the best of all time. But I think Sir Alex Ferguson's just another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
For me, he'd have to
any
win.
other any other manager I would agree with, but just not Sir Alex Ferguson, in my opinion.
I think Mourinho'd have to win like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 Premier Leagues with us, if like consecutively. um, or maybe even 4 or 5 to be compared or to be like in contention with being better than Sir Alex. But
See, I
I
never,
mean,
I'm,
classic
it doesn't
celebrations
matter.
from Mourinho.
For me, it doesn't matter what he does. I would never say he's better than Sir Alex Ferguson. The best he would get is me saying that he would be next to him in
Okay.
quality.
Mhm.
Which he's pretty close. He's a lot closer than other managers. I think he's better than Klopp and Pep.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess it
I mean, he's
depends on who you
transformed
are.
our team. I don't think Pep or Klopp could have transformed Spurs as quickly as Mourinho did to us. I mean, he was only there for half a season, and then now we're playing the way he wants us to play, and we're getting the results, and we're top of the table. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's just,
he's done amazing with what he's had.
mhm.
Um, when he first came in, we were really going downhill, and then he kicked off the game with a 3-2 win, which it was sloppy from the back, conceding the last two, which he's completely fixed, and we've had one of the
Mhm.
strongest defenses in the league. But not only that, we saw some really nice football, and we're also seeing that today. But obviously, it's not as much as he started to implement his play style a bit more. It's we can see that it's a lot less beautiful football than what everyone thought he was going to play. It's his bog standard, Burnley type football, park the bus, but it works, and I could definitely see him doing well.
All right, next one. We had Ali had potential to be world class but failed. I feel like that's a bit harsh on Dele. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, I don't think he did have the potential to be world class. I think he still does, but
yeah, I agree with that.
it'd be extremely difficult. I feel like the only way he could reach the potential people thought he would is if he moved club.
Hmm.
Um, I think um, I've heard a lot of people say this. If Poch goes to United, they think that they'll sign Dele Alli, and Dele Alli will end up becoming a world class player. But then I think about it, and I think, well, they have Johnny Van de Beek and they have Bruno Fernandes. Why would they sign Dele Alli?
As Pogba, yeah, Pogba as well.
Yeah, but
I think if
Pogba's
he
like
went
the
to Real Madrid, I could see Dele going
yeah.
there.
There has been rumors revolving Isco leaving, so I could definitely
Mhm.
see that happening. But point being, I feel like I can agree with it to some extent, but I feel like I'd say that is completely 100% false if he were to move to another club. I think he would
Mhm.
find that potential instantly. I think it's
Yeah,
just not working as good anymore for him.
it's just at this point he's still only 24, so he still has potential. He still has at least like 6 years left in the game.
Yeah, I would say that. Well, yeah, I agree to some extent, but I'd say it'd be he has 1 or 2 more seasons until we can stop saying, oh well, he's still young, give him time.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
After that 1 or 2 season, it's either you're either at the level that you're supposed to be with that you were expected, or you be sold. Because we
Hmm.
signed him because he was a talented youngster that could
Yeah.
grow.
Those European
So
nights, and he was just fantastic at them. The double
yeah,
against Real Madrid, he just kind of lost that.
yeah. But point being, it's like if he doesn't unlock his potential that everyone knew he had this season
Hmm.
and next season, Jose will be almost 100% that Jose will sell him because Jose is known to be a manager that moves around a lot, but I feel like I could definitely see him staying for a lot longer than people will think at Tottenham. I don't think it'll be another 1 or 2 season thing. I think it'll be a long term career, five 4 or 5 seasons. I
Mhm.
think it'll be because something I've noticed is he does not leave a club until he's won something with them. So I genuinely feel like we're going to win something within the next 5 years, something big, the Prem or the Champions League at least. I think we're going to win the Europa League this year, or we'll have a fair shot.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll leave until we win something, and even then, I still think he'll stay for a long time. So,
Mhm.
but going back to it, going back to it, yeah, I think Dele Alli should yeah,
I
I have
think
high hopes.
the
I
issue with
still have high hopes for Dele.
mhm.
Well, I feel like I'd really like to see him play against Arsenal.
I mean, I wouldn't, to be honest. I think Los Elso and Double are both playing better, and I think the issue is like the opposite of what this one's saying is that I don't think he has a clear role in Jose's system because Jose likes to play with a two, sorry, not two, with a one center mid who can get the ball kind of deep and then turn and make something
Yeah,
happen. And Dele is more of a reaction player. Like something happens where he can capitalize on like a mistake, or he can get into a position where someone else can create uh, or like he does like a
yeah,
little flick from someone else's pass. So I think that's just where he just doesn't have a
yeah.
clear role.
To be
And
honest, while I would like to see him start against Arsenal, I don't think he's clearly in Jose's plans. I think the way Delhi's evolved over the course of Jose being there, he's tried to adapt to Jose's style of play, which I don't
mhm,
think's worked for him particularly well. But obviously, he's still learning, and I think
yeah,
by next season it'll be fully implemented in his game. And I think he could definitely start some prem games. But I feel like for this season at least, I feel like the only time he'll be getting game time is during the Europa League. So for this season, I don't agree with that. But for next season, who knows?
yeah.
Depends how we go.
I mean, at one point we didn't think Dombele was going to be back in Jose's plans ever. So
I, I thought, well, it was always in my head, we paid like 60 odd million for him. Like,
mhm,
that's too much just to give up on a player like that.
yeah,
You're paying 60 mil on a player for some reason. I mean, despite Nick, like, the only exception's Pepe. Obviously, we all know he's a failure. But, like, I'm going to annoy a lot of fans, Arsenal fans with that. But it's true, though, and they admit it recently. He's been dying. The Arsenal trying to sell him. But
mhm.
point being, I mean, like 60 million for like Ndombele, it's too much to
Give
it's
up
too
after
much
one
to
season.
give up on him. It's too
Yeah,
much to give up on him after one season. And
mhm. Especially
now
after he was injured for a
and,
large amount of
and
time.
he's definitely fed off all the positive feedback from the people that have still believed in him. Um
Hmm.
and he's started to evolve his game. He's a lot less, you know, he's a lot less flair and finish. He's a lot more, box to box, running up and down the pitch, tracking back,
The amount of
making
running
those
he
hands.
does in the game is impressive now. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
always
very.
pressing,
He enters every
tackling.
game. See, something that I've noticed a lot is how when we first signed him, he was all flair, and it was like he was so good to watch. He's even better now, if you ask me personally, because he gives you proper Dembele vibes, and
Hmm.
that's why we bought him. We want him
Yeah.
to be a replacement for Musa Dembele. So I think it's great to see that we're starting to see that more from him. That he's starting to become a
Hmm.
lot more like Musa Dembele.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully his
it's
end
also
product, we
really,
just see a little bit
it's
more of
also
that. I mean,
amazing.
Musa Dembele didn't have a lot of end product either. So
Yeah, but it's also amazing to see that while he's evolved the way Jose wants him, he's adapted and he started to learn the ways and he started to become a lot more like Dembele in his style of play. He still keeps that bit of Ndombele flair, and skills like that against Chelsea, like that's something I personally think Dembele wouldn't have got out of, but Ndombele did because he has that special thing about him. There's
mm,
no player in the Premier League that can dribble and play football like him. And before people say stuff like, "Oh, well, what about Jack Grealish?" I think Jack Grealish has a completely different style of like dribbling and stuff. I
yeah.
think and Dombley, I'm based on, and I'm not referring to he's the best dribbler. I'm saying he's the most unique, and
Hmm.
he's
He
he's
has a
one of the
very
most
interesting way. Like he gets
yeah,
low to the ground and then he kind of drives.
and this season alone, he seems to be one of the most entertaining players to watch in the Premier League. So yeah, I have high hopes for um in Dombele.
Yeah, we got
But
kind of
going
off
back on
track on that one.
yeah. I just had to mention it, but Yeah, on speaking of Dele, I don't think he will. I don't think at least this season he'll be integrated into the squad
Yeah,
in the
me
for the
neither.
Prem. I think he'll just play Europa League games, see how it goes. If he does well, he'll start to get more Premier League games, and if he does well in those, then he'll progressively get better and better
Hmm.
until he becomes a starter again, and he'll fulfill his potential. So I feel like this season for him is a career decider. If he does well, he'll stay and he'll progressively get better and better. If he doesn't live up to the expectations, and even in just in the Europa League, you'll find that he'll get sold to somewhere like PSG or Real Madrid or somewhere like that.
Hmm.
That's what I think.
Alrighty. Kane is the best striker in the Prem at the moment. I don't even think that's
Right next
an
one,
unpopular opinion.
yeah,
I think we can just
no,
like move
yeah,
quickly on this one. There's no one better than him.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, Dyer is our best CB.
Look, I've
I
always said this. I think he is. Honestly, he's been
Yeah.
fantastic. Um, Obviously, I feel like his game over time has evolved so much.
Hmm.
I think he's actually genuinely gone so much better. I always thought that he wasn't. I always thought he was still our best centre back, even when he wasn't good, because the defense was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's weird because you over time notice that while he's progressively gone better over this small period of time, the back line's also gone better, and I don't think that's a coincidence. I feel like he's definitely our
Hmm.
best centre back, and he's our
Well, I
most
mean,
reliable. He's our
the
at least
Spurs
at
the
least
Spurs Twitter. You go.
he's
You
at
go.
least he's our most reliable centre back, and
Hmm.
I feel like he's our best. That's open for debate. I know a lot of people think Sanchez. A lot of people think Tanganga. Tanganga's close behind. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of people think Alderweireld, which I think is fair. I think he's the second
Yeah.
best afterwards. Why their partnership looks so well sometimes.
Hmm.
Against the slower paced teams like Burnley and stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I think they're both great players.
Hmm.
But yeah, I
For me,
think
I was
Dyer's
just
our
gonna
best.
say really quickly, and then we can move on to the next one. But the Spurs
Yeah.
Twitter, they posted a video of Ledley King yelling out, "Organize, Eric, organize." It's like you can tell he's the leader of like that back line, like telling everyone where to be in position because like he's playing alongside, especially against Chelsea. He was organizing Sergio Reguilon, who's only 23, and he's like has like next to no Premier League experience. And he was next to Rodon, who has that was his first start, and then he was also playing with Aurier, who has like he's a little bit of a loose cannon. I mean, he's been better recently. Don't get me wrong, but um, he was. It's impressive, I think, how he managed to organize that back line and keep everyone in the right position, and we didn't concede. So, but moving on to
Yeah,
the next
sure.
one.
Yeah. Can I speak on the topic of Eric Dyer quickly? Yeah, he's a natural leader, I think, and I'm really happy to see that everyone's starting to realize how good he actually is. Because I always thought he was great, but people had a lot of doubt on him ever
Mhm.
since during the COVID lockdown when football just opened up. We had that game versus United where Bergwijn scored his goal.
Mhm.
Eric Dyer was one of the standout performances in the team, and since then I've always thought, yeah, he's our best centre back, and I'm glad people are starting to finally realize it.
Mhm. All right. Moving. Serge Aurier is better than Matt Doherty. This is actually from two people. Um, I would have to agree with
I
it. I mean, Aurier has been fantastic against City and against Chelsea. So,
I don't like yes agree to some extent, but at the same time, like come on, how much game time has Matt Doherty had? Don't
yeah.
get me wrong, Serge has been fantastic, and
Hmm.
solely based on the performance, Aurier's been better. But I mean, you can't compare them yet when Doherty's been around for about 2 months now. He's not
Yeah.
gonna come on and end up being the new Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah.
He still needs his time, and it's really great to see that Aurier is now fighting for his place, and he's working so much
Hmm.
harder. His work rate's so much better. He's starting to listen more to what Mourinho's saying
Yeah. For
because
sure.
he knows he actually has a player that's ready to take over him if he doesn't do his bit, and
Hmm.
I think that's really helped his game evolve. Obviously,
I
Jose
agree.
knows. You see, the thing is with Jose is he can see a player through and through. If he knows that they're not going to fit what he wants, then he'll get rid of them. But he still saw the potential in Serge, and he knew that the only way he could push Serge to do really well in the Prem is to sign another right back, and Matt Doherty was perfect. He's in an age where he's getting on. He's 28. He's in his prime. He's perfect to fight with Serge, who Serge is also in his prime. He's 27, 28 himself. So yeah, it's great to see that he's finally fighting for his place and that he's doing well. So
Yeah,
at the minute, based solely on form, I'd agree with Serge, but I think it's unfair to put that opinion out when Matt Doherty hasn't had enough time yet.
I think for Doherty, it's he just needs a little bit more time. And I mean, we've talked about this before, but the move to Spurs was his first big move like ever. I mean, he moved to Wolves when he was like 18, I think, and he's been there ever since. And then he moved to Spurs last summer. So he's acclimating to the different club, different coaches, new teammates. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think he's been pretty solid. And then obviously he got COVID, which didn't help, and so it's just going to take a little bit longer. But I think he's going to be a really solid right back. But I mean, I wasn't expecting this improvement in Aurier either. So we'll have two really good options at right back to call upon in every game. So, and moving on to the next one. Oh yeah, and then of course Doherty made this like beautiful meme. So how many memes does Aurier have? And then next one is Son is the best winger in the world. Okay, I mean he's fantastic, but Messi and Ronaldo both play wingers.
Yeah, I can definitely see why he's been popular though.
Yeah, I mean those are the two best players in the world, and they both play wingers. So
I think he's world class. He could walk into any team and replace pretty much everyone. But I feel like to compare him to Messi and Ronaldo,
he's not quite at that level.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I don't think he'll ever be better than Messi or Ronaldo. But he's the best Korean player to ever play the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Best Asian player to probably ever play the game too.
Yeah, he has so many. He's so much. Everything about him is what you want in an all-out forward, and anyone would be happy to have him. So the fact that we have him at Spurs is, fantastic. And the opinion's a bit of a stretch, but I can kind of see why he or she would think so.
Wow, this is Højbjerg is our best signing. Yeah, I mean that's true. And then why did we sell Eriksen? So I think this is like a unpopular opinion, like we shouldn't have sold Eriksen, but I think we should have. I mean, he wanted to leave. He wasn't signing a new contract, and if we didn't sell him, we would have had to let him leave on a free in the summer. So that's why.
When it comes down to it, right? We sold him for a good fee, 18 million. Well, decent enough based on contract terms and all the rest. The fact that his contract was expiring, we're going for a good price. He wasn't motivated to play. So, based on all the sole reasons, it was good to sell him. But if he was playing half decent, and he was enthusiastic about staying, then I really wouldn't have wanted to sell him.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to sell him.
You can still see the whole of his departure, and I feel like we need to fill that in ASAP. I feel like people think, we have too many central attacking mids and all the rest of that. See this, and people are saying this also, and Dombele and all the central attacking mids, they're more CDMs. Deep line playmakers that they drop deep and then they create space wide. We don't have that player that's up top like a Dele Alli that it's easy to say, and like a more creative Dele Alli, the one who creates all the space, lofts the balls, good passes, free kick taking, just like an all round central attacking mid. And Eriksen was one of the best at his position when he was playing well, but obviously him wanting to leave, and obviously the whole Jan Vertonghen Eriksen situation just tore his career apart. And
I don't think that was true though, was it?
I really hope he gets one more chance at Inter and then starts to pick it up a bit.
Yeah, me too. Or if he leaves, I hope he gets to a good place where he can prove how quality he is.
To be fair, at the minute he's going for 12 million. That's a cheap price. That's 6 million profit even in itself. To be fair, if he was enthusiastic and he wanted to really join back, I would sign him back. I still think he's got one. I still think he has what it is. That
I
made
don't
him
think
so
so,
good.
but we gotta move on to the next one. Spurs will win a trophy this season. I think so.
I think so as well. I mean, proper mugging us off there with that Artie Cup picture. No, yeah, I think we'll win the Europa League. I think the Prem is a bit of a stretch. I think we'll either win the FA Cup or the Europa League, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, let's move on to the next one though.
Yeah.
4-4-2. This is our last one. 4-4-2 has been our most successful formation since 2016. This is from you.
Yep.
I think it's just the only thing I would argue. I think we've been very successful when we've used it, but I mean, we did get to the UCL final using the 4-2-3-1. So.
Yeah, but that was Pochettino's style of play. I think we played the game, not the occasion. Obviously we were already used to that sort of playing style, but if you look at it, every time we've played 4-4-2, we've always looked so compact and solid, and we're able to break through the teams. And especially this season, you could really start to notice. Especially Southampton game was a prime example of it. Half time when we scored 6 odd goals, we were playing that 4-4-2, and it's the most flexible formation as well, because a 4-4-2 can easily become a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-5-2. It can easily, it's very mobile and it can easily move to what you want it to be. So I think all around it's been our most successful formation, and it's been our best and most effective. It's been the football's not hasn't been amazing with it. Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest, but we always get the results, and it's really, obviously at the end of the day, as a Spurs fan, all you want is the results.
Yeah, especially with the trophy drop. But thank you for watching and for listening. This has been Unpopular Opinions. Thank you. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Also hit that like button. All right. Thank you for listening and all that. What I just said. I'll cut that down. Okay. We're done.